In my opinion, the Detroit Lions were one pass rusher away, superstar pass rusher away from making their first ever Super Bowl. And I do believe if the Detroit Lions would have got there and specifically faced the Kansas City Chiefs, I think we could have beat them even at full strength. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, that is a different story. I think we could have given them a better fight and maybe even come out victorious. But I think the Baltimore Ravens was like Ivan Drago, man, and we were Rocky Balboa. That's what I think. I think the Kansas City Chiefs more like Apollo Creed or Clubber Lang. That's what I think they are. That's the perfect reference. Clubber Lang were the Kansas City Chiefs. Ivan Drago would have been the Baltimore Ravens. With that being said, we talked about a pass rusher. All the ones are off the market. The Detroit Lions did not go the route of a pass rusher in free agency, a superstar, Danielle Hunter, even a star, not necessarily a superstar to pair opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Right? We decided to go undrafted free agent, 6th-round pick, and a guy who is coming off of an injury. That's kind of what the Detroit Lions do, right? But what they also do is they make moves, and sometimes in the middle of the night. We've seen it with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So Brad Holmes is not necessarily afraid to make a move. It just has to be the right one. That brings me to the person you see on the thumbnail. Now, every year, throughout the offseason, we start talking about potential rumors and things that I think have some validity to them, all right? And this rumor about Matthew Judon being on the trading block is very, very high, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I believe that is the case. He is on the last year of his deal. He, like Danielle Hunter and Brian Burns and all their edge rushers before him, he wants a new deal. Now, if the Patriots don't plan to sign him to a new deal, all right, then he will be trade capital, okay? And I think the Detroit Lions will be a perfect landing spot for a guy like Matthew Judon. He would fill our pass rusher needs. He could potentially be the missing piece. Well, you know who else thinks the Detroit Lions have a really good shot to land Matthew Judon? Bet Massachusetts. That's right. The state or the area that New England is based off of, one of the areas anyway, Bet Massachusetts. Now, this information is coming from A to Z Sports via Bet Massachusetts. Says landing Matthew Judon trade odds. The Seattle Seahawks plus 500 with a 16.7 chance to land Matthew Judon. The Atlanta Falcons plus 550 with a 15.4. The Chicago Bears, I don't know why he would go there. Another 550, another 5.4. And the Detroit Lions are number 4, the last team that has a double-digit percentage, according to Bet Massachusetts, to land Matthew Judon, plus 600. And for the New England Patriots to keep him is plus 1450. Now, I would love for Matthew Judon to come here. And I think that these rumors have some validation. Like we've seen them before. We heard Danielle Hunter trade rumors. Then after the trade deadline passes, we saw Brad Holmes look like he was a little disappointed in something. Comes out many, many months later that we tried to trade for Danielle Hunter. I believe that these trade rumors, there is some validity to it, 100%. Okay, you can't believe everything you hear on the internet, but I believe this. Somebody has some inside information somewhere. This stuff that doesn't just happen. It is leaked on purpose to spark conversation, to maybe get agents involved and things like that, right? To get things moving. So I think that Matthew Judon is indeed on the trade block. Now, there was a tweet that came out the other day saying that he wasn't going to play under his contract, or an interview somebody put out where someone said that he wouldn't play under his current contract. He said that that's nonsense. Don't make me out to be the villain. And he refuted those claims. But here is what A to Z Sports, shout out to Mike Payton and those guys, they put a proposal together for the Lions to trade for Matthew Judon. I want to know what you guys think. The Lions would get Matthew Judon. The Patriots would get a 2025 4th round and a 2025 6th round selection, which is the selection that we got from the Bucs in the Carlton Davis trade. So again, we would get Matthew Judon. They would get a 2025 fourth and a 2025 sixth round pick. To me, that is a DJ Khaled no-brainer. 100%. That is well under the cost a trade for a Danielle Hunter and things like that would cost, right? Back at the time that he could have been traded. Now, Matthew Judon he's coming off an injury and he will be 32, okay? But when we look at age, we have to look at production as well, okay? This guy could make a run for a Super Bowl. He did not get one he was with the Baltimore Ravens. He was with the Baltimore Ravens when the New England Patriots came back from 28-3. He was still a Raven. Then he became a Patriot, and the Detroit Lions, his next team, will be his third team. So I like that deal. I take it. Matthew Judon is only under contract for about $10 million. Now, of course, he's going to need a deal. And we talked about this before, okay? What is in place for a potential extension? There are two guys that have to be dealt with. Three if you add Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker, okay, Aleem McNeil, and Aiden Hutchinson. I think, based on what Brad Holmes did with Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think Aiden Hutchinson gets extended. But we were able to extend St. Brown, Jared Goff, and Penei Sewell, and we still got $40 million left the last time I checked. Somebody knows what they're doing with the money. I believe the guy that helped with the contracts is now gone, is now on a different, he does something for a different team, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be an issue, but I got to believe that the Detroit Lions would have plans, dominoes in place. If Ben Johnson was to take a coaching job over the past 2 years, they've got a plan in place, right? So I think that they have a plan in place they're not just looking at this year. They're looking at many years down the road. The salary cap is going to go up. It has every year. They're taking that into effect. So I think Aiden Hutchinson would be first. What are you going to do with him? Are you going to pick up his fifth-year option or extend him? Are you going to re-sign Aleem McNeil? Are you going to extend Taylor Decker, franchise tag him, which is something that the Detroit Lions don't do? But I take this 100%, this proposed trade from A to Z Sports, and I take it. I hope that we are in the mix. If Brad Holmes truly tried to trade for Danielle Hunter at the trade deadline, there's no way Matthew Judon is not on his radar. And I know a lot of y'all going to be mad at what I'm about to say, but he's coming off an injury. He's coming off an injury, and he's over the age of 30. But he's a guy that I would get him, Danielle Hunter, guys over 30, Justin Simmons that still produce. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. You know, it was Bruce Irvin was 34, 35 years. I think he was 36. Yes, Bruce Irvin was 36, 4 years from 40 as a pass rusher. Still did his thing. Tyson Alu, 34. Matthew Judon to be a fresh 32. The offer is based off him being 32 years old and coming off of a shortened season in 2023. Fresh 32. We could extend him. And again, I don't think he's going to take a hometown discount. I don't think people are going to take that, especially seeing as, hey, you paid St. Brown. Hey, you paid Penei Sewell. Hey, you paid Jared Goff. I want to be paid too. Hey, you paid Aiden Hutchinson. I want to be paid as well, right? But at the same time, I think that the Detroit Lions are going to become a major attraction. I think that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are going to have to wind up fighting people off when it comes to their team. So let me know what you think. Matthew Judon, the proposed trade proposal from A to Z Sports, and what about those kind of in-house betting odds, man? The Detroit Lions, none of this stuff has happened yet, but I do believe that something is brewing, something huge could be brewing. And I'll tell you what, we talked about this in a video 10 days ago. If the Detroit Lions made any type of move like this, which we have yet to do, we have yet to make like a monster move. The biggest move that we've made under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes was trading away Matthew Stafford, right? If he were to do something like this, I'm telling you right now, they want to win a Super Bowl this year, that they are all in this year. But I also think that they are preparing for the future as well. Matthew Judon will be part of a 2 to 3 year future. And I think we could very well do that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you make this trade? And what do you believe? Do you believe that the New England Patriots are going to move on from Matthew Judon? I think that the possibility is extremely high because of the trade capital. They are in a rebuilding situation. New coach, new quarterback. They are in a massive rebuild. Get some capital to go with that new coach and new quarterback for the future, because that's where the Patriots are looking at the future. And I would hate to see any other team land Judon. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.